Welcome back to another Puerto Rican edition of Berrien Birders. This was Cambalache State Forest, and we're looking at Adelaide's warblers. This is one of the Puerto Rican endemics, one of the warblers that can only be found on Puerto Rico. And while our first video for Puerto Rico was a higher elevation area, this was lowlands, and so there's birds like bananaquit and others that are kind of more typical of Caribbean lowlands. It was an adventure to find this place that we used. Well, probably Google Maps on my phone and Apple's Maps on Kristen's phone. And we got 3/4 of the way there, and then we came to a gated subdivision.
And from my perspective, it was just the gate to an extremely rich person's mansion, whom we will not insinuate was involved in any certain activities in order to get that money. I mean, he seemed very nice when he imposingly walked up and said, "Who do we want to see?"
It may
in
not
Spanish.
yeah, he may not have had a Russian accent, but he was overall very kind. I tried to communicate with him, and my Spanish turned out not to be up to the task. This is red-legged thrush, kind of a robin-related bird that has a pretty long tail for anything in the robin class. They occasionally get into Florida, but I've never chased one. I'm happy to see it here in Puerto Rico. But yeah, it turned out my Spanish was not quite good enough. And so then Kristen came back and rescued me, and we ended up having a conversation and figured out how to get to this place.
It turns out the maps programs really wanted us to go through his property to get to the back of this park, and we needed to go all the way around it in an incredibly large block, see some really cool little houses. Oh my gosh, look at this guy.
Yeah, this is Puerto Rican Lizard Cuckoo. Not surprisingly, this is also an endemic that you can only find on Puerto Rico. It kind of looks like a cross between our Black-billed Cuckoo around here, given the red around its eye, and then some of like the more squirrel cuckoo class birds that you get in the tropics. I was expecting this to be like the lizard cuckoos in Central America, but this was a very unique bird that was quite unlike the things that you typically encounter with I said lizard cuckoos, the squirrel cuckoos in Central America.
And Fluffy's getting tired.
Well, I mean, it's warm out. You gotta kind of relax in the heat. You don't want to wander too far because, as both of our sets of kids discovered, there were a lot of mosquitoes around the next bend. If you dropped too much elevation, then you got into legit lowlands, and the mosquitoes said, "Ooh, tourists. Me gustan las turistas."
Me encantan.
I think we just said we like tourists, and
In many ways.
there we go, in many ways. Well, we like the birds, and this was the last endemic of the trip that was really a pretty special one.
Sure was.
We'll have more content upcoming. Like, comment, subscribe.
And watch it from the safety of mosquito-free couches.